This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to be doing another retro review, this time on the G2 Hero version of Megatron. Hero being the class in this case and not actually the title. And he of course turns into a tank, this version being purple-black with some Dayglow orange to it. In tank mode, he holds the missiles on the side here, but you can also just fold up the little holders and they suck anyway. So you can also just display him like this. Of course, the missile goes on the front. And like with the Optimus Prime, can launch on its own. You can also pull his launcher off. Which just makes him look kind of ridiculous. But with the launcher off, you can also raise the angle of the launch and fire. And this definitely was designed much better for holding on than the Optimus Prime had been. I'm just going to say that right now. From the front, he looks kind of like this. He also has Megatron rules on his chest as a tattoo. He's got an interesting skull and crossbone versions of the Decepticon symbol on the front. So this is like the pirate version of Megatron. It's actually a pretty nice looking figure, to be perfectly honest with you. I do like the color scheme of the green and purple one better, mind you, but this is actually not a bad color scheme either. I would not mind seeing if they do make us a nice G2 version of Megatron, which I would really like for them to do. This would actually be a nice version of them to repaint it as. He also would come with a gun that would attach to here, but unfortunately I could not find it in my stuff. I really do need to just go through my Transformers and try to put everything together that goes together. In fact, maybe what I should do is just set up a spot at home and just record taking all the G1 and G2 Transformers out of the storage bin and go through them all for you guys to see. What do you guys think of that idea? But let's go ahead and take a look at him and transform him. So we will start by sliding his arms down, like so. Okay. We need to break apart, hopefully without breaking. I'm going to move the arms forward to get them out of the way a bit. Alright. Now let's take that off. That'll make it easier. So without that, we can actually more easily move the legs here. Theoretically, at least. They are very tight. He does not have any feet or heel spurs. Then we can go ahead and move the chest plate down. Spin the hands forward. Like with the original G2 Megatron. Just slide that across. And we can pop his head open. Not spring-loaded like the previous one either, unfortunately. And we can once again put it in the back. So this is our G2 Hero Megatron robot mode. Pretty basic head sculpt. Articulation-wise, the arms rotate. That does kind of get in the way. You can also fold them out like that, which is kind of a surprising addition. It was not really necessary for any of the modes, but they did it anyway. The elbow has a spin to it, and a hinge, which does a 90. You can also plop out the missile holder and put the missile back in there if you want. Unfortunately, unlike Optimus Prime, it does not look as good when you do that. Let's actually go ahead and put the cannon thing up there to get it more out of the way while we add it. The head does actually spin, surprisingly, but that's all it does. There's no locking in place on the torso, but he does have a waist swivel. We can kick up about that far. We can kick back about that far. And we can kick sideways about that much, which is pretty much all the way, once you get the arms out of the way. Like with our Optimus Prime, we can stick the missile on. And again, kind of like before, when you have that in place, this thing does not rise quite as much. So if you take that off, you can definitely get a much higher angle. And we can launch. So overall, with this version of Megatron, he looks really good. The color scheme is still good. Again, I prefer the green and purple to this, but this is still really nice. And I mean, I feel like the G2 Megatron tanks just have far more style than the G1 style ones that they've been making into tanks. It just looks nicer. And, you know, he's got a big old chest. So this is a cool figure, and like the Optimus Prime, there is at least one other repaint of this version of Megatron, and that one was done for the, I believe it was actually put in the Armada packaging when they were looking for more figures to put out that they didn't have to produce from scratch. Oh yeah, and this arm can raise all the way up like that as well. So if he had the Sword of Power, he could call upon the power of Grayskull. I gotta be careful because I feel like I'm gonna break some of these with the joints. Alright, so we have our G2 tech spec here for Megatron. Decepticon, Megatron, function leader, peace through tyranny. Megatron is a combination of brute strength, military cunning, ruthlessness, and terror. He aches to return to Cybertron to complete his conquest after destroying all the Autobots on Earth and capturing all Earth resources. He's incredibly powerful and intelligent and fires a nuclear-charged fusion cannon. He can also link up interdimensionally to a black hole and draw antimatter from it to use as a weapon. Megatron has no known weaknesses. Strength 9, Intelligence 9, Speed 4, Endurance 9, Rank 10, Courage 7, Firepower 10, and Skill 6. Actually, I'm pretty sure that is the exact same description that was on the original Megatron that we looked at for G2. But again, overall, I do like the G2. A lot of the G2 original figures, I think all were really nice, but almost none of them have gotten any love in the current Hasbro line of toys. We've gotten basic repaints of some of the existing figures to do it, and I think the Laser Prime is the only strictly G2 non-repaint that has actually been put out. So I hope Hasbro starts giving us more of these Generation 2 ones, and I'm going to keep on doing like these retro reviews for the Generation 2 figures, I think. And let me know if you're actually interested in that, because I'm thinking if I can get far enough ahead. Because right now, I've actually got, I think, while split up, I think I have about 6 videos ahead on my postings that are scheduled to go. So if I get far enough ahead and I'm doing these retro reviews, because they don't take as long, I might start doing those as Friday videos. But let me know what you guys think of that idea and this figure in general. And if you enjoyed this look, please leave a like button, because, you know, if you did enjoy looking at the Generation 2 Transformers, more likes mean more likelihood of more videos. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense, please feel free to subscribe. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.